Yo, it's your boy ZettaSlow, bringing you guys some more JoJo's content. So, one thing I really wanted to talk to you guys about was about how the demo's going. So, I played the demo for the first full day. We're going on our second day today. And there's a lot to talk about, really. So, I have a lot of things I want to get through. I want to get through some pros, I want to get through some cons. But before I do that, let me tell you how I'm going to break it down. So, we are going to break down our pros and our cons into 3 different categories. We're going to talk about aesthetics, functionality, and mechanics. So aesthetics basically covers the look of things. Functionality covers the overall, the overall game as a whole. And then mechanics covers what's happening in battle while you're fighting. So without further ado, let's kind of hop into it.
So ZettaSlow!
So as I was saying, I've been playing JoJo's All-Star Battle for the last day. As you guys can see, I have over 100 fights done in the game, so I have a pretty firm grasp of how to do things and how to play the game. If you've been through some of my streams, you've seen me actively learning how to play the game, and it's been a really fun process, honestly. So at first, a lot of people, including myself, were like not thinking All-Star Battle R was going to measure up, but it's starting to look like it will. So you have a different bit of mechanics on this game. So you have your regular combos. You have an assist now, so the assist can range from like a couple different things. We have Jonathan, who has an anti-air. We have Jojo, who has a combo extender basically. We have Dio, who has an unblockable, and then we have Jolene, who has a trap. So you have a lot of different ways that you can interact with the game as opposed to just fighting 1v1 in the first one. Also, with that being done, they took out a few other mechanics. So rotate canceling, which was not an official mechanic but was a mechanic adopted by the community, has been removed, sadly, right? So rotate canceling, for those of you who are not aware, allowed you to do some crazy combos by allowing the light combo to combo into other moves that it would not normally combo into. And it led to some really crazy situations for some characters, but for other characters they kind of got left in the dust by it. As far as what is available in this package, you have a lot of different changes, right? So you have your dash jump. Initially people thought it was going to be an air dash, but no, it's literally you run and then you jump, and it takes you at a very low angle, kind of like you did an instant air dash, which is really cool. I found myself using that a lot. I use it a lot in the Oki situation. So a lot of times you'll find your opponent is laying down, and you can catch them off guard because you'll do a instant air jump, I guess, and cross up, or you'll be like right in front of them and you'll be adding on more pressure, then you call it the assist to add even more pressure, and then you go for a mix. So there's really a lot here. There's a lot of layers, and it builds on the base game. So those of you who are from All-Star Battle, you'll be very familiar with this system. So a lot of things have been rekitted. I know a few people have different normals. I know some moves function differently. For the most part, a lot of them do actually. But honestly, yeah, I think it's doing a very good job at rekitting things to make things more functional. So in the old game, you had to use a lot of your meter to make sure you maintained a cool combo. In this game, I think you kind of do, but I feel like the assist also outputs some of the costs, but then some of your moves will also help output some of the costs because now they have easier links into other moves. Now, sometimes they'll definitely require a little bit of meter. Like I know with Jonathan, I was burning like half of my bar trying to do Hamon moves to get a combo started. But once you get that combo off the ground, the world's your oyster, honestly. And it's really cool to see. Like I've built combos from scratch basically on day one, which is really cool to see in a game in this day and age, because a lot of times you have pre-canned combos that are like the go-to, live by or die by. But no, I was able to find a lot of variety of combos, like a lot of combos with the stand users. You have like stand on, stand off combos. So you have a lot to go through in this game. There's a lot even just in this. So with that, actually we should probably hop into our list, okay? So for some aesthetic changes, some of the positives are all versions support all languages. So all versions do support all languages. You have the Japanese version that it had all the different languages in it, because that was what I downloaded first so I could be there on time. I downloaded the Japanese version and it had English translation in there too. The English version looked exactly the same as the Japanese version. Really cool. Good job on y'all. You also have 60 frames per second. So they were talking about how this game was going to run on different consoles. And from most consoles, it seemed like it was going to run at 60 frames for at least the most part. But Switch was going to be locked at 30, which I guess, you know, the Switch is kind of portable, so it kind of has to sometimes drop a little bit. So it is what it is. Next we have touched up models. So touched up models is something that I think this game needed. A lot of the older designs do not reflect what the anime currently looks like. And a lot of people that are going to be coming into this game are going to want to be familiar with things, right? As you see my shirt, right? They're going to probably redesign Giorno, right? Because Giorno kind of didn't look like how he looks on the show. They made like that new nose structure that they started using in the anime. And it looks really cool. I mean, so I hope they implement that in the game. We'll see. Also, Jolene got a redesign. Jojo kind of got redesigned, not really too much. But yeah, I think for the most part, the characters look good. So for my negatives, we have no English dub. So there is no English dub in this game. Right now, everything is voiced in Japanese. I'm not sure if that's going to change when the game releases or not. I haven't seen anything on that personally. So right now, yeah, everything's in Japanese. The Japanese dub is really, really good, honestly. So I don't really have any gripes with it. I feel like you get to hear the real Dio going ree, you know what I mean? Like, so that's really, really cool. I feel like it's very faithful to, you know, what you know JoJo's to be. So that's fine to me. But for some of you, that might not be okay. Also, my second gripe for the aesthetics is there is no new character. So in this demo, you have 4 characters. You have Jonathan, Jotaro, Jolene, and Dio. All these characters have been in the previous game. So this doesn't allow you to see like how new characters function. This doesn't really even allow you to see different types of characters function because they all virtually do the same stuff, right? There's not really a true like set play character. I mean, Jolene's the closest thing to it. There's not really a true grappler, but Dio's the closest thing to it. And then you have Jonathan and Jotaro, which is basically this difference between having a stand and not having a stand. So I can see where they were going with this, and they also wanted to make the characters familiar, but I feel like a better list would have been characters kind of like maybe like Stroheim for season 2, maybe possibly even like having, you know, Giorno or maybe even Josuke in the game, because I feel like they work a little bit different than your normal punch boy, right? Josuke has to repair the ground and do things like that in neutral, whereas Giorno has like counters. He has like stand things that he does where he can use his stand to manipulate the environment around him or like get him out of a situation. It's really, really cool. I wish they would have went with that instead of going with the safe bet of Jotaro, Jolene, Jonathan, and Dio. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, we could have had even more characters because the game's gonna have 50 characters at launch. So why not have at least like 8 characters in the demo? I don't see why not, but it is what it is. Next, we go into functionality. For functionality, there's a lot of things that we could talk about in this game. I'm gonna try to keep it very, you know, objective. So functionality, like I was saying, would be just the overall game system, not the mechanics yet, just the game system that is overarching the entire thing. So first things first, training mode has settings, right? So a lot of these anime games, you don't have too many training mode settings, but in this one you have quite a few. You don't have recordings or anything like that, but you have different options for like guard all, guard everything after the first hit. You can change the way they wake up. You can even set it to be a straight up CPU or to be your friend in training mode. So honestly, there's a lot of different options that allow you to change the way that you understand the game, right? So I did a lot of like looking at how certain situations would line up in a match, and it actually taught me a lot about not only the character but how the assists should be used as well. So really, really cool. Next thing, so this is a plus and a minus. I'll tell you why. So the net code is very good. Now this is to say, for CC2 games, normally the net code isn't all that great. You had Demon Slayer, which just came out within the last year. The net code on that game isn't too great. It's not the worst thing, but it's definitely not that good either. But then you also have Naruto before it, and that net code was as well. However, on JoJo's, when your net code is working, it works well, right? So there have been matches that you see, like I land very complex combos, right? A lot of these things that would normally not be able to be get landed on, like say actually work. I was able to hit a lot of Dio combos and things like that in good connection matches. But for every good connection, there's a couple of bad connections, right? So For the bad connections, those are horrible. And like, I'm sure you've seen things on like Twitter, like with this video right here. And yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. I still want rollback, but if we're gonna do delay based, that's not how you do it. Like, I feel like delay based should be like something like, in my head, I always default to like something like our old ArcSys games, right? Like the Guilty Gear Xrds, the Persona, like all those games, your worst connection is not as bad as this. Like, cause that is horrible. I feel like if your game has to pause mid combo, then something's wrong with the netcode. It's the netcode. It's not my connection or their connection necessarily. But if it's pausing in and out that often, that's bad. Next thing I want to say, no lobby. So for the demo, they didn't show off lobbies. If there is lobbies, cool. If not, get those. So in the demo, they had the player match. Basically, player match will align you with one other player. You cannot have anyone spectating your match. However, you can invite your friends. So it's really like, it's not the worst thing, it's just not the best thing. Like, the best thing would be a lobby. So try to get some lobbies so we can spectate our friends, so we can throw some tournaments up. I feel like this game would do pretty good for tournaments. Finally, it desyncs. So sometimes every occasion in a match, you'll have something like this happen. They're just standing there, right? I don't understand what makes it do that, but sometimes your match will desync, right? So then you and your opponent will see two different things. I even streamed yesterday. During a stream, I had two matches that happened to desync, right? And the matches desynced, and it became not as fun for them or for me, right? Now, to keep in mind, it's only desynced on me probably about 3-4 times out of the over 100 matches I played, right? So it's not the worst thing, but still work on that. And I'm just gonna add one more to that. There's no rollback, right? So I just said that earlier, I'm gonna say it again. There's no rollback. We need to start getting rollback in our games, everyone. Come on. CC2. I think everybody in your entire like player base, your ecosystem, would enjoy if you gave us some rollback. Like, I think even like the Naruto games would be kind of cool with some rollback. I know it's a 3D space. I know that's a little bit harder to implement. Harada had speeches on this prior to. But I think rollback would benefit in this game. If not, just bolster up this netcode. I mean, I can do delay based, I do not prefer it. Finally, we'll get on to the mechanics. So the mechanics is what's happening in battle, right? When you're engaging with another person in the battle, right? Your mechanics are at play, you're fighting, trying to figure out how to get in on somebody, trying to figure out how to get out of a situation, things like that. So my first plus on mechanics is there are a lot more meterless combos, right? So in the first game, you didn't have a lot you could do without meter, and the meter gained really slow. In this game, I feel like meter gains at not only a quick enough rate, but you don't use as much of it, or you don't use any of it to do a pretty successful amount of damage, right? So I think that was a really good choice on their part, because I think a lot of characters will benefit from this, because some people just didn't have like solid combo foundation in the original, and I think that's going to change a little bit. Next positive is that assists make neutral more varied. So one thing that they added in this game that was a very pivotal change that changes the entire game was the decision of adding assists to the game. So for those of you who don't understand how their assists work in this game, basically you have your other character that you pick, they have a certain amount of stocks. Some people have 2, some people have 3. And all these assists do very different things, right? So you can have anti-airs, you can have traps, you can have combo extenders, you can have unblockable setups, right? And these cause a lot of different situations to happen, right? I would find myself using my unblockable on their wake up sometimes, so then you have an unblockable combo if they don't react to it appropriately. You can set up a trap so that if you set them down and then you put the trap there, then they have to guess what the Oki's actually going to be and lock into it. You have someone who can anti-air, so like if your character doesn't have really good anti-air skills at all, like Jolene probably, then that would be something you use there, right? Or if you want to extend the combo but it was very vertical, right, then that would be something you use there. Also, you had like your regular Jotaro, basically Vegeta A assist type assist, which is basically Jotaro just punching. It extends your combo and allows you to get really big damage. So a lot of different variants in your supports. I can't wait to see what everyone else's support will be. So I'm going to lead off of the positives into this negative first, all right? And then we'll go back to positives. So something I cannot stress enough is that rotate cancel is gone, right? As I was saying, that is the thing that allows you to get the big combos in the old game. Like, it allows you to get crazy combos that would otherwise not be possible. The way that has been remedied is by using the assists, right? So use the assists to extend your combos. Your combos go for a lot less meter. All these different things remedy how the rotate cancel system has been taken out the game. Honestly, in my opinion, my personal opinion on the rotate cancel situation is I'm happy that it's gone, because it made for a very stifled tier list. So there was a lot of like tiers that were a little bit lower before when the game came out, but then when rotate cancel came out, some of these characters sunk. Like, some characters got really good, some of these characters sunk. And I feel like that when you have a 50 character roster could be very, very polarizing, because then you don't get to use many of the other characters as you would presently. So I think that was a good decision on them. Feel free to disagree in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. But I said what I said. Next negative, hit stun is a tad too strong, okay? So you go into this game with a very different sense of combos from different fighting games that you have played up to this point. You play fighters probably, you play Naruto probably, and hit stun in those games is good, but hit stop is not. I'm sorry, I've been saying hit stun this whole time. I meant hit stop. Hit stop is good, but it is not overpowering. When you hit a hit stop in JoJo's, it kind of stops the screen, which to me is not the worst thing if you apply it correctly. I feel like it's kind of overdone, right? It's very, very, very crunchy. That's the word I have for you. It's very crunchy, right? You go boom, that hit is there for like a good 2 seconds. Then you go boom, that hit is there for a good 2 seconds. You go boom, that hit's there for a good 2 seconds. Now, this allows you to link combos a little bit better, a little bit more efficiently, but I think there's just a better way of doing that. I don't know what it would be. Probably improving the input buffer, maybe. Outside of that, I feel like it's just a tad too strong, just a tad. Like, just tone it down like maybe about 2/3 of that length, because I feel like anything longer is just a little bit too long. So my next negative, assists. So assists are a positive and a negative in this one. So assists in this game on defense are some of the craziest things you've ever seen. So they kind of work how I believe there was like a mechanic called tag crash before in a fighting game. I don't remember what fighting game it is off the top of my dome. But it's also kind of like your assists in or supports in Naruto. You can use your stocks as a means of attack, or you can use your stocks in means of defending, right? So if someone's about to get this big combo on you and you know you're about to take a lot of damage, you can use that as a combo breaking mechanic, right? However, after they do their little dive in kick, there's no way to get them off the screen, because until they leave the screen, you cannot hit your opponent because they are body blocking you from hitting your opponent. There's been a lot of situations where I've gotten a combo, I've gotten the read on them calling in the assist, and I've been not able to follow it up because the assist is body blocking me from getting that hit. There's a lot of little nuanced situations where I'm like, that's okay, but then there are some where I'm like, that's not okay. One of the situations where I'm okay with it is if you're doing a level 2, right? So this is a very contentious point, I think, in our community currently. When you are doing a level 2 and someone uses the tag crash thing, it stops the level 2 dead in its tracks. However, if you use a level 1, it does not stop it dead in its tracks. I think, personally, in my opinion, that's a good system, and the reason why is because there's a give and a take there, right? You're not going to take this level 2 because you use that bar, right? However, you can still take this level 1. So you still get your damage that you were going to get, you just get less of it. And it's very read based too, because I feel like you have to understand what your opponent is going to stand for and what they're not going to stand for. Because if you call your assist too late, then they still get hit on that level 2. If you call your assist on time, then they can break that level 2. If you call your assist early and they're doing a level 1, it doesn't matter. You're still taking the hit anyway. So I think they really thought about how that would work in terms of the mechanic. Personally, I like that part of it. I do not like the body blocking if you get the read on the combo though. Like, I should be able to punch them out the way and then continue my combo, or I should be able to just walk through them, because they did the little dive in and, you know, stop them from leaving the combo. But anyway, I think that's pretty much my general thoughts right now. As of right now, I am thoroughly impressed with All-Star Battle R, honestly. I initially went into it very apprehensive because of all the different changes at play, but after really understanding the systems and using the assists appropriately, it became a very different but very good experience. Like, you have a lot of different Oki situations in this game, and I really dig it. I like the way that assists are very varied too, because imagine having 50 characters in a game, right? Everyone's gonna have a different assist, and it's all gonna work differently, right? You're gonna have all these different synergy sets that people are gonna set up. So imagine, like, right, having 50 times 50, so that's 2,500 different combinations of teams you can possibly have or fight in this game. That is the craziest thing ever in a fighting game, right? So, and this game definitely feels like a fighting game. Honestly, I think you guys should give the demo a try, okay? Now, I'm saying give the demo a try, but I would not pre-order, okay? The reason why I say do not pre-order is because we have not received all of the products yet, right? We don't know what's in here, we don't know what's not in there, right? They just confirmed a tournament mode. I don't know if that confirms a lobby. I don't know if that confirms spectating to the way that we need it to be. We also don't have rollback netcode, so I would say do not pre-order the game yet. Hold your horses just a little bit longer, okay? Just a little bit longer. Currently, my mission or my mindset on this is I'm going to buy the game. I'm not going to pre-order. The difference between pre-ordering and buying the game, for me personally, is pre-ordering is a couple months out right now. I don't think I should pre-order the game. Buying the game is, oh, I know I'm going to get the game, so a day before the game comes out, I'm gonna buy it. So then I still get my pre-order rewards, but they didn't get over on me because they thought, oh, they're not gonna check what the features are. Be smart with your money, folks. Be smart. All right. And from one JoJo fan to another, wouldn't you want your game to be the best version of the game so then people play it longer? That's just my personal take on that, y'all. So anyway, this has been your boy ZettaSlow. Until next time, everybody, stay healthy, stay happy, stay groovy. We out of here. Peace.